Oh, there it is. Oh, 1:50. Alright, let's take a look together. Hold on.
I don't know what happened.
I do, we've already played.
I was supposed to take her to the Fireflies and walk away. Because of her, they were actually going to make a cure. The only catch. Sweet Jesus.
Doctor?
What are you doing in here?
It would kill her.
Even if we found her, or by some miracle found someone else that's immune, it make no difference. Because the only person who could develop a vaccine is dead.
No! No! I know all the leads have dried up, but Joel's still out there, you know?
We're gonna have to run!
Why don't you say whatever speech you got rehearsed? Get this over with.
You don't get to rush this. You can't stop this.
Cool. Looks like we gotta go back. I meant to part 2, but I'm also gonna, like, just look at some stuff here. Oh, that's what Abby looks like in Santa Barbara. What could this be? This is Ellie, like, post-farm, I think? Or, like, at the very end. I think that's her outfit. This looks like... Oh, this looks like the night where they had the dance. Free play. That is the backdrop of, like, the final scene in part 2, so context looks a little weird, but you could already do free play at the beginning of day 2, I think, for Ellie, or whatever. What is this? I don't know if that's Lev or just a scar. Infected. Alright. Hunted. Does that mean there's a hunter? Maybe you get 5 lives or 6? There also looked like there was a meter. It looks like there's a meter there. And it's either filling up or something. Who are we playing as there? That looks like Tommy. Yeah, that you're playing as Tommy there. And he's definitely dead. Those look like Seraphites in the subway station? Didn't they? Hold on. Sorry, I'm trying to... Those look like scars in the subway station. So it looks like there's a certain number and then they go down and then it could be interesting. Wave 1 of 3. 1 goes down. Time limits.
You can't stop this.
That looks interesting. That looks interesting. Again, I'm not really one to comment on like what could be done or how it could be better, because Factions is the only multiplayer I've ever played, so that looked interesting. It's probably the closest thing we're getting to a multiplayer. It looks like it looks like single player multiplayer or something. I don't know. I don't know. Lost Levels looks cool. It's probably the equivalent of like deleted scenes from movies or like post-credit scenes or something, where it's probably not going to be much, but it's going to be something. There's a link to an article that explains things. Yes, instead of speculation, you'd probably just start with that. Let's see here. Featuring no return roguelike mode, lost levels with dev commentary, free play graphical enhancements, DualSense, and more. Better be speedrun mode. There should be. It was in the... Ooh, from the Naughty Dog blog themselves. The team here at Naughty Dog is excited to announce Part 2 Remastered, the definitive way to experience the acclaimed Last of Us sequel, originally released in 2020. We're thrilled to confirm you won't have to wait long for it either. I gotta say, I do like only waiting 2 months besides waiting 3.5 years. Whether you've already played and even platinum the Part 2 on PS4, do you want to continue this? We'll offer plenty of reasons for new and returning your returns alongside technological improvements, new modes, behind-the-scenes features. Where we break down the story, take a look at this. I already saw that. Let you dig deeper into both its development and mechanics. Chief among these is a brand new mode called No Return, a roguelike survival mode designed to let players improve their mettle in randomized encounters. Randomized makes a lot more sense because like you're playing as random characters in random environments with random enemies. Experience Last of Us 2's combat and fresh experience. The mode includes a host of playable characters to choose from, the franchise, which you may have spotted in a trailer, who each come with their own traits to suit different play styles. Players will chart their own course on each run, choosing between various stealth and combat encounters that will pit you against a range of enemies with unique twists that can add new, unexpected factors to any given encounter. Each run will offer a new chance to decide what rewards you get after each encounter, how you spec out your character and more, unlock more character skins, and more as you progress to use in the mode. Customize your own runs and compete on a global leaderboard as part of a daily run. We're excited to share more about No Return as we get closer to launch. Yeah. Looks cool. Those who have already played Part 2, we know the included sections featuring a playable guitar were a favorite for many. And you... impressed us with your performances, so we've introduced a new guitar-free play mode, which will let you strum the string across a host of unlockable instruments. Use audio effects, pedals to... Oh, God. It seems cool. I'm sure people will like that. Play as different characters in several in-game locations to customize the mood and feel of your set. Okay. And for both new and returning players interested in learning more, we've designed Part 2 Remastered to offer a comprehensive dive between the scenes of how our studio brought this game to life. The new set of lost levels in Part 2 Remastered allow players a unique chance to check out some playable sequences previously cut from the game. These aren't fully finished levels, but rather early development slices that not only let you see... These aren't fully finished levels, but rather early development slices that not only let you see some new glimpses of Part 2's world, but also include embedded developer commentary to give them richer context. Explore these spaces and hear directly from the team about the intention of aspects of each level. Conclusion for our studio, we're excited about the creative process. I hate reading. We've also included newly recorded director's commentary across the campaign's cutscenes from Neil Druckmann, Haley Gross, Troy Baker, Ashley Johnson, Laura Bailey. They've assembled to offer insight into the story and its characters that means so much to both of them. Part 2 Remastered. Here we go. Part 2 Remastered will feature enhanced graphics, including native 4K in fidelity mode, 1440 upscaled to 4K in performance mode, unlocked frame rate option that support VRR. Yes, yes, and yes. That's... You could have started with that one. I'm going with that one. Increased texture resolution, increased level of detail distances, improved shadow quality, animation sampling rate, and more. It all brings the world of Part 2 story to life in richer and smoother detail from the snow set. Takes advantage of PS5's power and features in more ways as well, including improved loading times. Yes. Part 2 Remastered also incorporates DualSense wireless controller, haptic feedback, and adaptive... Yeah, we know that. Part 2... Oh my god, there's so much reading! We haven't read this much in so long. We've ensured Part 2's award-winning suite of accessibility options returns for the PS5 experience alongside new additions like the inclusion of descriptive audio and speech vibrations, which use the DualSense. I didn't even think of that if there were things in the remake accessibility-wise that wasn't in Part 2. I don't really know. Descriptive audio and speech vibrations, which uses the DualSense controller to indicate character speech and cadence. The unlockable speedrun mode. Yes! Thank God! We get speedrun mode and improved load times. There's no reason to play the original Part 2 now. Included in Part 1 will also be coming to Part 2, Remastered, allowing players to post their best times. Yeah. Following the last Part 1, the last Part 2 includes the ability to unlock bonus skins for Ellie, Abby, and their weapons that we're excited for players to see and take some incredible photo mode shots with. You can get a first look at some in our announcement trailer. And speaking of photo mode, we made some additions that players of Part 1 may be familiar with, including dynamic lighting, blah, 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 blah. We're so excited to natively bring Part 2 to the PS5 as the definitive way to experience the sequel and everything it has to offer, while also offering fans new and returning deeper levels. Pre-orders will be available beginning December 5th. I need to make money by then. For both the standard edition as well as the remastered Wolf edition, which will be exclusively available direct from PlayStation in select markets. Includes a steelbook, display case, 4 pins, a WLF patch, 47 Society of Champions trading cards. Oh, that was one of the collectibles in the game. Including, which I haven't collected all of them yet, including 8 holographic cards. These were a favorite to collect in-game. We're so happy we could bring these to life. Check it out below. No price anywhere. I'll obviously be getting the most expensive edition. Oh, let's see. Good news for existing owners of Part 2 on PS4. You'll be able to upgrade to a digital version of Part 2 Remastered for $10 at launch. That is so based of them. Quick little round of applause for them. That is so based of them, considering the game is 3.5 years old now. You'll be able to upgrade to a digital version of Part 2 Remastered for $10 at launch. You'll also be able to import your saves from the... Oh, thank God. I have 18 saves. So this is only... Obviously, it only applies to the digital version. Cool. We're excited to share more with you about Part 2 Remastered as we get closer. I'll probably still get, like, the most expensive physical copy as well, just because I don't buy many games anymore, as you can tell. You need internet to complete in the daily run. Okay. Upgrades for disc copies? Owners of PS4 disc copies must insert them into the PS5. Is that how it works for other things? Apparently you can just use a PS4 disc to put it in PS5. Oh, every time they want to download or play, whatever. That isn't going to apply to me anyway. Cool. So yeah, the no return doesn't look like multiplayer. It seems like something you only do yourself. So that seems pretty cool. I don't have any knowledge of how, like, using a PS4 disc to play the PS5 remastered version works, but whatever. Like I said, it seems like there is literally no scenario where you would want to play the older, like, launch version of the game. So that seems cool. I remember, like, a year ago saying, maybe not a year ago, half a year ago, I said I wish Part 2 was remastered with non-existent load times and speedrun mode, and we're actually getting that. That's cool, and cut levels, dev commentary, and because there was a whole thing with Remake being $70. The fact that this is a $10 upgrade, I think for a majority of people, I think is really, really cool for them. A lot of their big sales, I think, will be through physical copies. But that's incredibly based for them.